Just like in a nutshell, like I would say energy and like all these things, but I think it was like just the inner me, like the focus on inner me, which it goes to energy, behavior, self-worthiness, like really deep rooted issues. So just the inner soul. I did. So previous to pregnancies, I did some working out. I used to run. Nothing as big as like lifting weights or everything, but just light stuff, right? The pregnancies came on board. Longer gestational diabetes was with my first pregnancy, and then my second pregnancy, again, just gestational diabetes, and it was like, oh my gosh, what is this whole thing with diabetes? What's going on? It went away, which was great. And then like COVID hit, like literally right after my second pregnancy. Even though my baby wasn't born like 2020 COVID, but she was born in 2019. But I still kind of call her COVID baby because like we were all locked down. And like I know it's kind of hard to talk about it because like in my head it was still last year, but like it's been 4 years, right? Like so once COVID hit, like my routines, everything else just like went out the door. And it was kind of like, oh, I'll get to it. I'll catch up or I'll do it. And then the stress, I will literally blame everything like on the stress with COVID and like how I just started picking up things like the late eating, not sleeping. And then like I could never really like come back to it. And then it was kind of like, again, you're like, oh, I got this. I hate to use this analogy, but it's kind of like a drug addict. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, I can try that. Like I can control it, and you really can't. And you really lose that control, and you lose that soul almost. The eating part, because I knew that eating late was not a good thing, but it was like a mental thing, like stressful, at work, it's stressful at home, we're all kind of cooped up, and it was like, okay, the only thing that I can feel like happy when I'm by myself and when I'm eating late at night. And like, I would even go to bed, get up, and just go to eat. Like, we're talking like 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, and it just built a habit. And it was just kind of like, oh, that's my happy medium there, even though I knew it was really bad. The commitment, because there was a monetary value to it. Not that like, I bought some things here and there to help me boost my energy, those type of things, like informational things. But I think like I put a monetary, because it wasn't cheap. I had to like talk to my husband about it. And we have a gym at the house. He tried helping me out, working out, just did not work. Just the motivation, I don't know. Like, and to this date, I don't know why is it that I can't work out. But like, actually, funny thing, when I talked to JoJo, and she's like, I can never work out with my wife, so like, don't feel bad. And I was like, okay. So put in a monetary item tied into it, and it's not so much, because a long time ago I joined a membership to a gym. I think it was like the one on a 24-hour gym. And then I stopped going. I used to call it my fat tax, right? You just paid a tax to be fat. I don't know. So now it was like a big chunk of money, and I'm like, every morning I'm like, well, I'm paying for this. Like, one of my big motivators that I told Michelle is like, I really want to be able to get up in the mornings. Like, my morning routine is horrible. I'm tired and she's like, well, guess what? You eating late. That eating late is like a cycle, and it's just ruining your mornings. So like, my focus was like, stop eating late and refocus in the mornings. So like, being able to get up super early to come here, especially on my workout days, it's been like true amazing. My strength, my level of, I just with the girls, keeping up. So like, for instance, they love playing like Mommy Chases Me Around. So like, before I wasn't able to like chase them around the house, like now I can chase them 2 times, 3 times. So that, like, to me, has been like a sparkle in my eye. I mean, that's one thing. Like, mentally, I'm like more open. Let me describe that a little bit better. I still have to do a lot of my focusing part, but like, I think the fog, that's one of the things that I've noticed the most. You know, like those days that you just foggy all day, no matter what you do, no matter how many cups of coffee, sugar, anything to like perk you or wake you up, it doesn't. And you just remain in a fog the entire day and the entire night, and then late at night you're not able to sleep. So that has been like a huge difference that I've noticed. Physically, I want to say that I have noticed physically things, but like, I told Michelle I don't want to weight myself yet because I'm scared, and I'm like, what if it's not the number that I wanted? Like, I don't want to put down to numbers. Like, I want to notice it here first, because the physical comes like later on. My husband, of course, we're not fighting as much. I mean, not that we fought before, but like, he has complimented me. Today, it's like, hey, you're losing weight, like, and I'm just like, oh, stop it. Yeah, he has. Like, I haven't seen like my family and friends, so I haven't seen, but maybe like next time I see them. Yeah, I think that's the biggest. I think I would say a believer, because I came into the journey just thinking like, is this a large fat tax that I'm paying? And I'm like, I don't have the money. Like, I had so many doubts, like, because when I talked to Michelle, I said, you know, budgeting's totally out of my budget, and can we split it? Like, what can we do? And she came back, she's like, I can split it every 2 weeks. I'm like, okay, we can figure something out. And I was like, believing but not believing. And then I was just like, well, I need to provide my commitment, right? So kind of like being part of that believer, but like believing in me, like that I could actually make it change and make it happen. So that's been like a big part of it. One, just making sure that you have a commitment. Because like, I felt so bad. One day I actually missed one of my trainings with JoJo. I was devastated because I was thinking like, oh my gosh, you know, JoJo takes everything very serious in a good way, you know, very professional. Ryan does the same. So I've only worked with like JoJo and Ryan, more consistent. So like, for somebody who's not committed and you miss out a training, like it's a big deal. Right? Like it's not just like, oh, whatever, I'll just make it up next time. Like, that's their time, and I feel like working out with you guys, like, you really need to have that commitment for the person that they're committed for a change for themselves. Because there's a whole group of people that are committed for you.